For the fluffy slides, you're going to need a pair of slides, a boa, scissors, hot glue gun. I'm going to start off by taking obviously one of your slides and then just taking your boa and measuring out how much you need. So I'm just going to take it across here, and since mine is a Velcro, I kind of don't want to cover that Velcro, so I still have the option of being able to Velcro it. So I'm not going to go completely across, I'm going to do it more in sections, so one here and then put another piece of boa here. So what I'm going to do is just measure it out from one end to the next, and that's about how much I need. So then I'm just going to cut it. So once you have that cut, you can now add your hot glue to your shoe and then just glue down the boa. It's so simple and easy. If you don't want it to be permanently glued down, you can use double-sided tape or glue dots. That'll be a little bit more easier to remove it. But since I bought these specifically for this DIY, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it. You can also use super glue, but hot glue, it just dries faster and I don't have to wait, you know, like a whole entire day to wear the slides. It's best to glue in sections because the hot glue does dry so quickly, and you don't want to waste glue because it dried up before you even get a chance to actually get it glued down. So once you have both slides covered in the fur or feathers, it's now time to clean up the sides. As you can see, I've already made a mess. You're definitely going to have to do a lot of vacuuming. But what you're going to want to do is just trim the sides a little bit so that way they're not dragging underneath and you look crazy. For the fluffy heels DIY, you will need any heels of your choice, boa, some form of adhesive. These heels are just some Target heels that I already had, but I do like them, so I'm not going to permanently glue down the fur using hot glue. I'm going to be using these little almost like glue dots, but they're just squares. They're going to stick and last, but they are not going to stay on the heels permanently. I just have the option of removing the fur. Removing a square and applying that to the strap of the heel. Once you have all of your glue dots applied, you can now begin measuring your boa the same way we did with the slides, and then just cut it from there. So what I'm going to do is take the other shoe that I didn't already put adhesive on and measure it like that, which I should have done ahead of time, and then cut it. You want the fur to strongly adhere to the squares but not to the actual suede of the shoe. So I'm going to apply little dots of hot glue to each square. Once you have all the fur applied, now we're going to do the same to the other shoe. Now that both shoes are covered in the fur, you can go ahead and do the same thing we did with the slides and just trim that excess off the sides. For the puff keychain, you're going to need a spear or a ball, boa, scissors, some sort of keychain, and a hot glue gun. So to start off this DIY, I'm going to be taking this piece of metal, and it's just like jewelry metal, so it's bendable, and I'm going to be using that kind of as my jump ring. You can use an actual keychain, but I'm just using stuff that I already had. This is from an old keychain, and then just some jewelry metal or wire that I had around. So since I forgot to buy the actual foam spear, or the foam ball that you can get at any craft store, even at the dollar stores, I just stole this from my little brother, and I'm just going to be taking the glue right here and gluing this piece of metal down onto the ball. Now I'm just going to take my boa and just wrap that around and glue it as I wrap it around. Once I've got it all covered, I'm just going to kind of go around the sides and even it out a little bit because it does look a little bit uneven. Now I'm just going to take this wire that I put on here. You don't have to use wire, you can use chain, jump rings, or even just string. And I'm just going to bend it into a loop like that. And then I'm just going to take some hot glue and connect it. Now I'm just going to add my little keychain part of it by just opening up this jump ring and adding it onto the ring that we just created.